Hello. In this video we are going to be working on doing some layout of animation, and this is a project that I'm going to be carrying out all of the camera work and the initial blocking of my scene. And I have a storyboard here in which I have a scene, kind of basic scene. It's just a ball on a kind of a lookouts post, looking in the distance. There's like a little pond, and then a couple of stumps there, and then a bucket that the ball wants to reach to. So my camera number one, I start with a establishing shot, show the whole scene. Camera number two, I go to the kind of look over the shoulder of my character, looking in the distance to his target. Camera number two, still we see him kind of winding back, and then shooting in the air to come to camera three. We are looking one of the first stumps, the ball coming to the stump. Camera number three, still ball hitting the stump, and then launching forward towards the passing to the right side of the camera. Then with camera number four, we see kind of like a side view of the ball coming and flying and then landing, bouncing off to the object. Actually, this is number four still. Gotta correct this number here. And then with camera number five, in this case, would be the ball coming off that last stump, approaching the bucket, and then he just goes inside the bucket. In camera number seven, we see a reveal inside the bucket, him with his friend, who they just come and get together. So we have six cameras. I have mislabeled them here, but it is six cameras that we need to work on. So I'm gonna use my storyboard to help me lay out my scene in Maya. So I'm going to at this moment, see if I can unlock this or minimize this file. All right, and we are going to have it just ready in case we need it. And we are going to start by laying out my first camera. So that's camera number one. It's kind of wide shot, and then I have in my scene a just basic ground plane there. I don't have anything else modeled. I'm just going to have that thing there. I'm going to extend my sides, especially extrude this one out in this direction. I'm going to use a move tool, so I'm going to get the extrusion out this way, and I grab some of these edges too, and then I'm going to extrude them out that way too, just so that we have them a bit more distinctive. And of course I have to kind of model some sort of like mountains and some sort of like a trees in the background and all that. But for now I'm going to just keep my scene very, very blocky, make sure to delete history on your object. And I have here my scene the lake, the stumps, the bucket with a receiving friend, and we have here our character getting ready to get there. So if I have my character here, I'm going to make sure that I have that face activated there to see it. So I'm just gonna go and do that in a second here. Okay, so I have my character here. Just gonna make sure that I reveal his texture. Just when the texture can be basically create a happy vase. This is just a pure texture. There's nothing else. Just to do my animation. And okay, going back again to my storyboard, I'm going to create a wide shot. So I'm going to go by start by creating a new camera. Usually the perspective camera, I do not use it. I create a new camera. On my perspective camera, I go and say perspective camera 1. And I go and look to the camera 1, and I go and generate my establishing shot. I'm going to just activate my resolution gate. There it is. This one will show me what the camera is going to be rendering. Actually, that's the icon right there, resolution gate. You can always call it from here under camera settings, resolution gate, same way. So I'm going to just show here my whole location right there. Make sure you use a good composition. In this case, I'm using the third so that my horizon line is on the lower part of the screen. That way it makes it a little bit more attractive, more appealing. And I'm going to just have that camera right there, nothing else. There will be probably a bunch of trees in the background or something that I'm going to be modeling. For now, this is my first setting. So I'm going to just have my camera there. I'm going to lock my camera by clicking the little icon here so my camera doesn't move. And my camera name is camera 1. Then I'm going to go and create camera 2. And camera 1 is going to be just for a certain amount of time. I'm going to create camera 2 here. I will take care of the timing a little bit later. So I'm going to create another camera. I'm going to look through that camera, camera 2, and then I'm going to just move back and try to identify the second shot. Camera 2 is looking over in the distance at the bucket, and I'm going to see if I can try to rotate my camera to look at that bucket in the distance there. Activate my resolution gate so I can see it the best way possible. I'm going to try to generate the best composition possible. Knowing that my bucket is right there, I can probably move the bucket a little bit if I need to. Maybe move it a little bit more this way. I have my hair character there, just hide it a little bit in there. And I'm gonna grab his character. I'm gonna move it over so that he is ready to be animated there. Again, I can always kind of adapt some of the, at least in this case, some of my positioning of my stumps there, so there is no confusion what it may mean to remember to modify freeze transformation those if you change them. That way you can bring them back always to that. Alright, so I have that and I have my guy there. Camera 2, I'm gonna just lock my camera and then I'm gonna go to my camera 3, which is looking from the first stump back to that overlooking post where the character is going to do. So I'm going to just create my camera number 3. I'm going to look through that camera number 3. And I'm going to just go move it so that I can see from my tree stump. Activate your resolution gate. That way we have a good way of changing it. So here it is. I have on my camera, I have a potential for changing some of the attributes of the camera. I have my camera selected. I can select my camera by clicking on this little icon. My camera attributes are this one. So it has a focal length 35. You can change that or change your angle of view. Let's say, for example, if I go to a focal length of 25, that makes the perspective a bit more dramatic, and that way I can try to bring my camera to sort of match my shot. You see that my camera is not right on the stump. I want to just show a little bit more of it, but I want to see a little bit of the water in the scene. I'm going to bring the stump down a tiny bit so that I can get some of the water that is there. But the important thing is to try to get the best framing possible. And again, my sequence is coming left to right, so my ball has jumped off frame and now it's going to come down, appear from somewhere here to bounce on that stump. So I'm going to just go and lock my camera right there. I may have to move the camera later on, and there's no big deal about that, but we are generating the blocking as we go. Then I go to my number, this is number 3 still, bounces off. Then I go to number 4, which is the next one over, but this one I'm going to go more like a side shot. I'm going to create camera number 4. I'm going to go and look through camera number 4. And this one I'm going to just, let me turn on my resolution gate one more time. And I'm going to just, I don't need to show the last stump. I just need to show the new one right there. so that I can see the ball flying, landing, and taking off. More in a sideways manner. There we go, just lock it. And then I'm going to go and create my next camera. In my case is camera 5 now. So we see it from the bucket, looking over the bucket, a bit more dramatic shot, a bit closer to the bucket, so that we get a very, very impressive landing of the object. Hopefully you can see the two stumps back there. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to create that camera, and this is camera 5, I believe. If I look to that camera number 5, in this case I'm going to look at it from the bucket point of view. And again, you can change your camera focal length to a lower or higher. Higher will flatten everything. If we go 50, that will flatten everything. The perspective is less dramatic in this frame this. That way, if I hit on the object, I can hit F, and that frames it. That way I can start rotating around it a bit more dramatically. But again, my camera, when I select my camera, 50 is too much. Actually, I'm going to bring it down to 15. That way, you have a very, very dramatic effect. I don't want to reveal the little character in there, because it's kind of like a little surprise to the viewer. So I try to get the bucket somewhere here. Maybe I'll go 20 on my camera focal length. And what is going to happen here is that my I'm going to just go on a generate a more dramatic angle right there. Unlock my camera. Now, in this one, I want to see the two stumps in line, so I'm going to have to animate them to reposition them when the time comes for animation. So we're going to have to switch that when time is ready. And then I'm going to go and create my last camera, that is going to be camera 6, when the ball lands inside, or is already inside of the bucket and meets his friend. So I'm going to go and create my last camera, and then that one I'm going to just reposition it. I'm going to select everything, hit F, that way I can frame it, and then I go and activate the resolution gate. And I always remember keeping it on the right side of the screen, because last time we saw it was on the right side of the screen. That way I can have a nice composition of it, and that will give me enough room for, let me just tilt it a little bit this way. And I'm going to just lock my camera right there. So I have 6 cameras showing from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which will be the end of my story. Okay, so let me just do an increment and save in my file here. And I'm gonna just stop it there. So in the next video we're going to start blocking it.